Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Moving to the Netherlands as an American. I think it's probably very hard for an American citizen to get used to the whole Dutch culture. That's what I believe, but I don't know, probably the reality is very different. I think it also depends a lot on what kind of city you're probably used to and what place you actually lived in. But this makes me very intrigued. Let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
We are in a place right now that I had not planned to come to. I actually hadn't even really heard of it, didn't know much about it at all. But some other YouTubers from the US who moved to the Netherlands recently moved here and they convinced me to come check it out. It's one of the Netherlands' oldest cities. Let's see if you can guess where I am.
No idea. Beautiful. Is that a cathedral?
Yay! New friends. Welcome. I'm here with Alex and Michelle.
Hi.
Hello.
Really, they should be welcoming you because it's their town.
Yes, welcome to Dordrecht.
Welcome to Dordrecht.
So I stalked them a little bit on YouTube and was watching their videos about being Americans living in the Netherlands, and I've been following them for a while, so I thought that I would reach out and try to meet up with them and find out how the past 3 years have been for them living in the Netherlands. So you guys were telling me a bit earlier, and I'm sure your YouTube subscribers know this as well, that you moved to the Netherlands 3 years ago. So could you just talk us through a little bit about why you decided to move here to begin with?
We wanted to live abroad. And
Good
I think
start.
when we went to Amsterdam for the first time, we just felt this like belief that it was the place that we should be living.
Oh,
and
that's
we
nice.
wanted to live abroad for so long. But
I think it's very personal where to live, your kind of perfect city or where you should actually live. And finding that place of, belonging, them getting to the city and being, you know what, I actually feel that I should be living here. This is my city. I think that's a beautiful thing.
where did I want to live abroad? Because it's not necessarily the place that you like to travel to all the time, because you can go there whenever you want. So
as a tourist,
when we found the Netherlands,
not all places are great. Some places are great as a tourist, and other places are not as great when you actually have to live there for most of the year or throughout the whole year.
I think that's when we were like, oh, this seems like a nice place where we can really settle down. Plus we had two cats, and we wanted to make sure that we were bringing them somewhere where they would be comfortable. And I don't know, it just sort of all fell into place.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that about feeling comfortable when you got here, because I actually remember feeling that way as well back in 2013, the first time I came, and I had never been to the Netherlands, and somehow on the airplane I felt comfortable, and when I got off the plane and through the airport I felt like this is a very livable place.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Dutch people would agree. I think a lot of expats and immigrants living here would also agree.
Yeah,
that's
you
why
really
they
have
live
to
there.
understand that, like, the difference between vacation and life.
It's
because
very
like
different.
when you move somewhere new, for the first like few weeks or few months even, you're still kind of like, oh, I'm in a different place. It kind of feels a little bit like vacation. And then after that, you're like, wow, I have to wake up here and I have to have...
It's the honeymoon phase, exactly. When you actually face the reality of being there, and it's not just all roses and pretty colored things, is, oh, wait, this is my reality now. And you kind of, if you're not happy somewhere, I think chances are you're not happy there. You're probably not going to be happy here. And yes, the first few months are great because everything's new and shiny. But once the luster sort of goes away, then you're left with, oh yeah, this is the reality and this is what I have to face us.
Good days here. I have to have bad days here. I have to grocery shop here. And that's like, I think
Real life.
It is important to understand the difference between where you want to live and where you want to vacation early on.
Yeah, it's like the comfort piece. You're gonna have bad days, like where you wake up and you don't want to be living in another country. You just want to like have it easy because you don't feel good or you have a headache. You can't pick and choose those days here, so you have to find a place where you feel like you can really like make yourself a home.
What would you say that you appreciate the most about your lifestyle in general?
I love that we have started a business together and we have the ability to work together. We can do that, and we can, in most cases, afford to do that.
Yeah, our health insurance is like 300 something euros a month. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's very inexpensive by comparison to the United States.
And is there anything that you miss now about living in Austin?
Chipotle. Oh, tacos. Yeah, Mexican food
Okay.
here like
They're from
pales in
Texas.
Yeah.
comparison. It's not even like it's
We've had so many recommendations of like, oh, you need to go here and try this Mexican place, and some of them have been good, but
Yeah.
I mean, we were really spoiled living.
there's other
Yeah, of
stuff here.
course.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Like there's
Well, but they have the advantage of course, there's great Mexican food in Texas. Yes, in Austin, of course. But I would think you guys are literally next to each other. Netherlands is an ocean away. I wouldn't expect to find good Mexican food over there. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Maybe there's great Mexican food over there, but I would trust Chipotle. Even though it's the lowest common denominator, well, it's famous for a reason.
other stuff here, but like I do really miss that.
I saw a great sign at the pier in
It's like
The
Coney
Hague,
Island.
which you
Not
guys
really,
pronounce
but sort of.
the name.
Scheveningen? I'm not even saying it right. It's like Scheveningen.
I watched so many videos on how to
It sounds so Scandinavian.
pronounce it. It's like, yeah,
It's like
Scheveningen,
Schiphol, yeah.
whatever.
Scheveningen. Scheveningen.
They had a sign in there. It's under construction, and it said,
what is that?
Just because it's taking a long time doesn't mean nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And I took
Oh.
a picture. I was like, God, that's
Yeah.
so applicable to
Yeah.
so many
I
aspects
know.
of
Totally.
life.
There's a huge wow, that's an incredible saying, and it's just what in a construction site. Oh my god, okay, that can change. That's a whole philosophy. One sign.
Everything.
Yeah.
Dordrecht is one of the oldest cities in Holland and often overlooked by people who are considering moving to the Netherlands. It has a picturesque town center and a quiet lifestyle, all while being only 20 minutes from Rotterdam, which is the second
Oh.
largest city in the country.
super
It also
close.
has a more moderate cost of living compared to
cheaper.
Rotterdam and Amsterdam.
That weird black building looked gorgeous. I don't know what it was. Probably a church.
Very historic in here. I think this is my third day in a row eating French fries.
What I like.
Yeah.
I guess you got to live on potatoes when you move here.
Who would have loved to live there?
You don't
in
have to
potatoes.
eat them every day, but when in Rome.
Exactly.
Thank you to Michelle and Alex for sharing their beautiful town with me today. I'm so glad we got to explore Dordrecht, and I definitely see what they like so much about it. Now I'm going to hop a train to Rotterdam and continue exploring. Rotterdam and Dordrecht couldn't be more different. There's a stark contrast going from a
Yeah, it's very quaint, very charming, and this is a city with the skyscrapers. It looks newer, at least landscape.
quaint town to a modern city that almost
Yeah.
feels like you're in a different country.
Oh.
One of the reasons for that is that Rotterdam was heavily bombed during World War II and has been
That architecture was very brutalist architecture with the whole like the colorful panels. I don't know what they're called, but that's very brutalist 80s.
largely rebuilt with a more
Very
modern,
European.
bold, almost futuristic feel.
The Dutch weather is back.
It's also the biggest and busiest port city in Europe, making it an international and strategic
Oh, I love that.
location to live. I walked around a bit in the pouring rain looking for vegan restaurants, co-working spaces, and Pilates studios, just the necessities,
Yeah.
and then headed to the gigantic
What is that?
indoor food hall there called the Markthal.
Oh, that's like a market. They have Dunkin' Donuts.
This place is very authentic and cliche at the same time. We have
I love the fact that they have a donkey. Well, yeah, they can eat their donkeys.
herring, we have coffee, we have a peanut butter store.
A peanut butter?
How much the Dutch like peanut butter, but check this
Peanut
out.
butter store. Oh, that's why they put it in the fries. Great. Take me there. I want to know what kind of sauces they have. This is my dream. I want to go there. I would go to the
totally wish I
Netherlands
didn't-
and to Rotterdam just specifically for the peanut butter situation.
And eat the Fritz now because I'm not hungry and there's so much
There's a lot
good
of
food
food.
here.
Yeah.
But it would have taken me probably 2 hours to get here, so I guess it is what it is. I got a juice.
Is that a
Markthal
matcha?
opened in 2014 and houses
What's
more
new?
than 100 vendors here, plus one of the largest indoor artworks in the world. It's a great place to grab a bite to eat or a souvenir.
Oh, the tulips. I find it very nice. They have very traditional places and more modern places all in the same place. I love those type of markets. They're the best markets. If you want something traditional, you have it. If you're craving something a little bit more modern, you have that as well. You don't have to move.
After the rain slowed down, I headed to my next destination of Delft, a charming town known for its iconic blue pottery. But appearances aren't always what they seem, because this historic town is also a hub for innovation. It's home to plenty of startups and the cutting-edge Delft University of Technology. Consider this area if you're looking to move to a good place for students, families, or for working in tech. Welcome to Delft. So I probably would not have come here for myself because I think it's actually probably a bit too small for what I'm looking for to live in the Netherlands.
Honestly, it looks kind of empty. I'm not seeing any people. She seems to be the only person in the street. Probably it's just the street, but it's kind of weird not seeing anyone pass by.
A town of about 100,000 people. You don't need a car here. You can walk or bike everywhere. It's a university town, so lots of students.
Well, this looks
a lot of my relocation clients are interested in potentially moving here. And so I promised them that I would come and see it and give them my honest opinion.
Okay.
And my first impressions are that, yes, it's lovely.
It's very pretty.
Actually the city that most reminds me of Amsterdam out of anywhere that I've been in the country so far. And
is it because of the canal? Probably all cities have canals in the Netherlands, or a lot of them have canals.
I could definitely see it being a very family-friendly place. Maybe a little bit too quiet for me, but I love that it's so close, only 10 minutes or so.
See, I'm glad she mentioned it, because from the outside it looks a little lonely, and it really is quite lonely here. There's no one here.
So from The Hague, very close to Rotterdam, and so it would be a place where you can be close to everything without being in the center of the action. It's also a place that you'll hear a lot of English being spoken, as in many parts of the Netherlands, but it's also a place that you could learn Dutch if you wanted.
There's something for everyone, basically. It looks so nice. A cheese market.
Walking through downtown Delft is like stepping back in time, complete with cobblestone streets, canals, artisans, and historic buildings such as the old and new churches. Such a beautiful little town.
Yes.
Around every corner there's something new to see.
It's lovely.
Besides living here, which it seems like it would be a nice place to live, I could see myself coming here as a digital nomad, spending a month just hanging out here in these little cafes and coffee shops. Lots of outdoor dining. Maybe a little bit touristy, but like touristy in an authentic way. Like you see a mix of locals and tourists who are both enjoying the amenities in the town.
You're a fake tourist, not an authentic tourist. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's so traditionally Dutch. Those are beautiful doors. I wonder if they're antique. Oh! Is that a heart?
Another part of Dutch culture, outdoor markets, of course, and you can find them almost everywhere. We have markets in the United States, but what I like about Europe is that shopping at markets for your food and other goods is such a part of everyday life that the prices are very similar or more affordable than you would find in the stores, whereas shopping at markets in the US is kind of a luxury. I feel like everything...
Yeah, they tend to be fancier because they're not everywhere. So if you go to the farmer's market or the market, they don't have it everywhere in the country, and they tend to be, the prices are usually higher because they're organic and whatever. So it's not the same.
Costs more than it does.
It should be the opposite. You would think, oh, but they don't have to go to the middleman. They don't have to go to the supermarket. But no, in the supermarket, it's cheaper. And yes, I think in Europe, I think it's different.
In the grocery store. But here, farmers markets and outdoor markets are just a normal part of life. Here you can buy cucumbers for $2 a pound, peppers for less than $3, and avocados for 75 cents each.
Quite cheap.
Excuse me, how much are eggs?
Cheap.
Do you know?
$3.35.
$3.35? Okay.
For 10.
For 10.
And
okay, thank you. I had to ask.
What's that? They had so many things
So
that I
I
would
just
stop.
got a gift for my nephew, and they wrapped it for me for free. And I
That's
was
cute.
in such shock because I haven't seen that in so long in the US. But let's get this cute wrapping paper. And the girl who worked there said that it's a normal thing to wrap the gifts in Holland, and they do it in all of the physical shops. And, you know, they used to do that back in like the 80s, maybe, I remember, in the
I've never
US.
seen that.
But now you have to pay extra, or
Yes,
they
you
don't
always have
offer
to
it
pay.
as a service at all. And so she was saying that she
To me, you always have to pay extra. It's nice that they offer it's a complimentary service, which I think it's nice because it's a little extra something that I think makes the whole thing more special. But if all stores do this, then I'm not choosing one or the other. But still, it's something nice you do for your customers.
She just learned in the last couple weeks that it's a cultural difference through some British tourists who said that they don't have it in the UK either.
Yeah.
So I just love talking to people and learning little
Okay, so it's a Dutch thing specifically. I love it.
tidbits like that about the culture and, you know, simple pleasures like wrapping a gift for someone.
That flower shop looks gorgeous. I want to get in. Well, those cheeses look incredible. Oh, there's
The
a
more I
cow.
travel, the smaller the world feels in a way. Just sitting here, seeing like the leaves floating through the air in springtime, it really reminds me of being in the Philosopher's Walk in Japan.
Everything reminds me of
over
something.
near Kyoto, and you know, on the other side of the world. So it's just interesting how when you
similar it all
travel,
is.
you see people that look like people that you know from home, or you meet someone who reminds you of someone, or
Oh.
you see a site that reminds you of another place.
That's
And
lovely.
I often find myself describing places as a mix of other places that I've been to kind of find that reference point for what
Yes.
it's like for me. So it's just, you know, another individual perspective of seeing the world that changes the more places you go.
Yeah, I think it's the way the brain does this because your brain tries to look for patterns, and in order to look for patterns, they need to actually see the things that are familiar to you.
We have 3 more cities to visit on our tour of the Netherlands: Amsterdam, Haarlem, and Utrecht. Subscribe to watch next.
Okay, so I think what she said at the end, I think was a lovely kind of closing thought. I think it's very nice, especially coming from the perspective of someone who apparently has traveled a lot and probably has lived in very different places, different cultures. I think it's really easy to find the differences. I would actually say, yes, it's the easiest thing in the world is to find the differences between different cultures and different countries. Just because you're seeing this as something so opposing to what you're used to, that's kind of what your mind's gonna go to, and what you're actually going to latch on. You're going to be, they do this completely different from where I'm from, or the things that I've seen, the things that I'm familiar with. And I think it's so nice to come and that's the first impression. Your first, this is so different, and it's the culture shock of everything is so foreign to me and I don't understand anything. But then it's like she said, the more you travel, the more you realize, things are actually kind of the same. There's a lot of things that you're gonna find familiar in the places that you go. And I think it's so nice because it's kind of silly, but I think we tend to forget that we are all under the same sky. We all live in the same planet. And it's the same moon we're looking at that night. It's the same moon. It doesn't really matter the time difference does matter. But it's the same moon in Japan or in Hawaii or in Colorado or I don't know, in Chile. It's quite nice to me, and I feel it's more like those sayings of, how is it that it goes? The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's a little bit of that. And I think it's nice because I think sometimes you need to remind yourself, you know what? They're not that different from us. And I think especially culturally, which can be very, very hard to get used to a different culture that does things completely opposite to what you're used to, what you've seen before. It's actually quite familiar to me, and it's actually quite nice, and it can make you feel, like they said, more at home and more welcomed probably, and because it's just in the nature of the human mind to just find familiarity, find patterns, find some things that you are used to. The brain looks for these things. So it's really nice. And despite our differences, we're actually quite similar and we're not that different from what you've seen and what you previously thought. And that comes, yes, of course, that there are some things that are just, they're completely different in cities and both in cultures, but a lot of things are actually shared. And I think that's really nice. I think that's what makes us human, and part of being human is creating connection with other humans. And it doesn't matter if they're from a culture in a country that's on the opposite side of the world, where you either were born or where you grew up. So it's really, really nice. But as for the whole Dutch and the whole Netherlands situation, I think I really liked it. The last place she went to, the little city, I think it was Delft. I think it was nice, although quiet. It was very, very, very calm, which I don't know. She even mentioned, I don't know if I would like this to live, because it's very, very quiet. There was more people afterwards. I think it was a little bit livelier, but I think it just depends. Again, if you're coming from a place that's very, and I think that's probably, I don't know if Amsterdam is the same, but all the countries that she actually visited, and those countries, all those cities that she visited, they all, even the ones that were a little bit more active, they were still very quiet. There's a sense of calmness that I think permeates probably, and I'm seeing this through the screen, and I would guess it's probably like that in real life. I think it's very calm, and it's obviously very nice because it's very relaxing. However, I'm wondering if sometimes you need a little bit more, you need something, again, more livelier in general. You want more people on the streets, you want a little bit more activity. It doesn't have to do with the amount of people in the streets, I think, or obviously that certainly makes it, there's a lot of people. But I think it makes it also quiet, very relaxing. I think it could be, I know that it would be I think it would be a big culture shock, at least to me. I think a huge part of this that I'm just realizing now is the fact that there's so little cars, there's fewer cars in general, if ever. I think I saw just like 2 cars. I think the fact that there's basically no cars, at least in the cities that she was in, the towns that she was in, makes it so quiet. It makes it so weird. I think it makes it seem, to me, and that's just my personal opinion, it makes it look more as in a small town and not as an actual city. But again, probably it's just me and my perspective, because I'm used to cars. So I'm used to cars and people and just very busy streets in general, very busy cities. So this, to me, it's, this would be nice for a vacation and to spend a few relaxing weeks. But I don't know if you could actually live in a place that's so incredibly quiet. I don't know. Maybe I would have to try it, but just, I don't know. I wouldn't be that sure. And I'm with her. She was, I don't know if I would do this, because everything's very quiet. But all of the towns that she was in, I found them very, very quiet, which is nice. If you, like they said, the difference between wanting to live somewhere or actually picturing yourself living there is very different from just a place that you would go for a vacation, for a nice vacation, or where you would spend probably, I would spend easily 3 months there or 2 months. That I wouldn't actually choose this place to maybe my forever home, or maybe not that extreme, not my forever home, but just to spend 5 years, 6 years, or a particularly long amount of time. I think, again, it just depends on a lot of things, and I don't know, it depends on your personality and a lot of things. I think some people would definitely crave this, but I think some other people would probably be, you know what, I am going to need more liveliness out of this. I think my favorite part about the whole, because all the towns were very pretty. Also, I think one of the things that makes it look like towns and smaller towns in general, well, one of them, it was actually like a really tiny city, a really tiny town. But they are all, because they're so old and the buildings are so old looking and they're gorgeous. Absolutely, they're very beautiful. But they don't really have this huge, particularly big buildings or skyscrapers. And I think that makes it, I don't know, you would feel, oh, you know, I'm in an actual city. If there's again a skyscraper, there's a huge building. If there aren't any modern looking buildings or just big structures in general, and everything's very clean and very old, even if they're smaller buildings, I don't think I'm in a city. I think I'm in a quaint little town. But again, that's just my perspective. And I think this always is going to change. It's going to differ. You're probably going to differ from me. But I think that's my perspective is everything looks, oh, it looks like a very small city. Where are the skyscrapers? Where are the big buildings? Where are the new buildings? Everything looked very pretty. But again, I would love to go visit. I don't know if I would actually live there. But my favorite part about this whole video was the market, I'm going to call it the market, but I know it wasn't the market. It was this actual structure that they had a bunch of food stands, basically, restaurants and all of that. It was kind of like a market, but not like their other market as in like a farmer's market. No, it was, let's say, a mall, but for food, except obviously no, it's not a mall. The mall has other stores, but this is again just a food center, a city center. I don't know what to call it because I think it's just a market, right? But I think there are two different kinds of market. The farmers market, that they are open markets, city markets that are just in the middle of the street, and there's probably a lot of farmers and they're selling their goods. And the other thing is the actual city market, in which, oh, there's the actual structure and you can obviously grab a bite to eat and you have a bunch of different stands. I think that's another type of market. And I love it. I like the fact that I even had, I think, postcards also. It's, oh, you have a little souvenir to take at home, or well, to bring back home, or to give everyone, or well, not everyone, but people that you're actually thinking of. But I think that's really nice. And obviously all the food look incredible. I love the fact that they have so much variety. I don't know, it would take you so long to actually, oh, I want to try everything. I don't, maybe you could do this in one visit, probably in several visits throughout the whole day, well, a couple of days, the whole week. I would go there. I would go to, I think it was it Rotterdam? I think that was located in Rotterdam. I would go to Rotterdam just for this because it looked incredible, and I would absolutely go there. Just the peanut butter, the amount of cheeses, and just the amount of other foods in general that they had. It's really, I love it. I love markets. So yes, of course I would go there, and I would 100%, I would go to Rotterdam just for the market. Yes, I would definitely go there, and the tulips, everything's so nice, and I would stay there for a couple of days just because, yeah, I want to eat everything. I want to try a little bit of everything because everything looked incredible. And I think one of the good and probably the better things to do when you're traveling and when you're understanding and just getting to know another culture is their food. I think is one of those little things that, yes, of course, and everyone can. If you're not actually bringing back a souvenir or an actual object and an actual material, then yes, you can always have the food because that's the experience, and you can, oh, you know what, I think that really sometimes is, oh yeah, I really do associate food with some types of culture. So I think it's, yes, I would definitely go there. That was absolutely my favorite part. And as in for the culture shock, I think again, it just depends. For it's on your personality. Like they said, they actually, well, the three of them actually said it. Oh, the minute I arrived to the Netherlands, I knew this was my place. Even they said it, they were, oh no, they want to live abroad, but oh, where? The minute they got there was, no, you know what? I feel at home. I feel like I can build a life here. And because I feel the city's kind of welcoming me, and I feel at home, and that's it. And there's a sense of belonging here. And I love it. That's lovely. And she mentioned it. She didn't move it specifically the first time that she went. But the first time that she actually visited the Netherlands, she was, oh, you know what? I could 100% live here. And sometimes you just say this, and again, that's really where the actual trial period comes. Like one of the women was mentioning this. Oh yeah, of course it's going to be so nice the first few months because I can totally picture myself living here. But when you are actually faced with the realities of waking up every single day in this place, and the realities of your life and how they are maybe at odds, or how they go along with the whole culture of this particular city or this particular country, then it's where the real test starts, and you're, oh, okay, this is where I can see if this is actually for me or not. But again, most of these things, I think it's more about a feeling of, I can't really explain to you what made it so, that made me want to live here and move to the Netherlands, but it was more of, like they said, a feeling. I felt like I belonged here. I felt that I could see myself here. And it's just a feeling. It's sort of, it's kind of silly. It's because it is. It's kind of like love. It's when you know, you know. And it's one of those things. I can't put it into words. It's just when you know, you know. And yeah, when you know that you feel that you're actually going to, oh, I belong here. It's a beautiful kind of poetic kind of emotion and thought, but it is like that, and it's so nice for them to actually experience this and in the Netherlands, and I'm glad to see they're thriving and they're happy. But I think that really what works for some people is not going to work for others, and that's why everything is so incredibly personal. And yes, you can listen to people's experiences, and yes, they can tell you, and it's a whole thing. But the experiences of it's a thing that, you know, it doesn't really matter if some other people tell you. You're not actually going to take it all in unless you actually live it, because that's the thing about experience. You need to actually experience and live it to actually understand it. But I love this video, and yes, I want to go to the was it a marketplace? I'll probably not remember this correctly, but I love that part. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next week. Bye.